This week on TNA Xplosion, we will celebrate the brand new TNA World Champion, Joe Hendry, and take a look back at some of his biggest wins and moments. Plus, the monumental partnership between WWE and TNA Wrestling has created a huge buzz. The NXT Tag Team Champions, Braxium, crossed the line, and Cora Jade confronted the Knockouts World Champion, Masha Slamovich, potentially staking her claim at TNA Gold. But it was Ashanti the Adonis who looked to kick off the new partnership and make his presence felt on the countdown to Genesis.
There's the bell. Oh, and Adonis trying to get the jump on Jake something here as we officially christen the partnership between WWE and TNA Wrestling here at TNA Genesis.
Ashanti the Adonis really trying to give himself a first-class introduction here to the TNA faithful, but meeting a pretty nasty beginning in this impromptu matchup.
He tried to introduce himself. Oh, and all the ladies in attendance. I think, wouldn't Carmen Petrovich be kind of upset about that?
I mean, maybe it's that kind of thing if you're not in the same zip code. I don't know, but something is in the building with him right now.
Oh, that was a horrible idea. Oh, and a huge forearm blast by Jake Something. If this is your first time seeing Jake Something, you are in for a treat. Absolute raw power, a freak athlete, and has had a horrible temper for the bulk of 2024. Adonis, oh, there's the airdrop. Drove Jake Something throat first into the top rope, and now Adonis takes over.
I mean, that's what you're going to have to do if you want to take down a beast like Jake Something. Any which way you can. Use the rope, use the ring, use whatever you can, and do not stop.
Some impromptu action here on the countdown to Genesis, and there is scheduled competition still to come here on the countdown to Genesis. We will see Leon Slater go one-on-one with Frankie Kazarian here live in Dallas, Texas. We invite you to follow along with all the action. TNA Wrestling is now on Snapchat. Go behind the scenes with exclusive content and can add us at This Is TNA now on Snapchat.
Something lining up here, swinging for the fences with Ashanti Adonis here.
Off of the ropes. Oh, and able to level Jake Something.
Hey, but any which way you toss it, here you go into the cover.
Cover, pressing the shoulders down, kick out at one.
Ashanti the Adonis is taking it to Jake Something, which is not something that a lot of people can say they've done.
We invite you to scan the QR code that you can see on your screen right now. Genesis kicks off live on pay-per-view and especially TNA Plus in about 40 minutes time at 8 p.m. Eastern. Again, scan that QR code and subscribe now to TNA Plus. You haven't seen anything until you've seen everything.
And Adonis there turning his back on Jake Something, even for the moment. Not something I recommend you do. But doing a great job here of keeping his foot on the gas pedal with the larger Jake Something.
We want to say hello to everyone watching us live and free on TNA's social and digital platforms, of course, TNA Plus, and live on Sportsnet 360 in Canada. What a bright future for TNA and Sportsnet 360 in 2025.
And we are kicking the year off. Oh! As far as our major live events, there's going to be a lot of them throughout 2025, kicking it all off here with Genesis. And we're already starting with impromptu action here.
Yeah, Jake Something is picking up right where he left off this past Thursday night on Impact as he defeated Laredo Kid in a hell of a matchup. Boot right to the face there by Ashanti the Adonis. Going up top. Oh! Shot down out of the sky.
Good night. He ain't gonna be kissing anyone with those lips after that one.
A little tribute to the Ultimate Warrior there, and now trying to set up. Could this be the end of Ashanti the Adonis tonight? Calls this into the void. Cover. Welcome to TNA Ashanti, the Adonis.
Here is your winner, Jake Something.
You step into the lion's den and you might just get bit. Jake Something making a big statement as we kick off Genesis here.
Still to come, we're looking at some of the biggest wins and moments of the new TNA World Champion, Joe Hendry. And we'll kick it off by looking back at his first major championship match in TNA, challenging for the Digital Media Championship against Brian Myers. That's up next on TNA Xplosion. Welcome back to Xplosion, and as we celebrate our new TNA World Champion Joe Hendry, let's look back at his first major championship match. It was for the Digital Media title against Brian Myers.
I believe in his ability. I believe in his power to inspire through all media. So this one's a toss-up for the old Drama King.
The Digital Media Championship is on the line for the first time ever. It's Joe Hendry versus Brian Myers. It was a matter of days ago that Brian Myers surpassed his good buddy Matt Cardona's reign, and is now the longest Digital Media Champion reign in history at 132 days and counting.
So let's focus on the positive here. Like Joe Hendry, the positivity that between Cardona and Myers, we have the two longest reigning Digital Media Champions of all time. That's impressive.
Big night here in Las Vegas. Still to come this evening, the semifinals of the X Division Championship Tournament. We'll see Trey Miguel one-on-one with Mike Bailey. Remember, we'll crown a new champion 1 week from tomorrow at Overdrive. Also still to come tonight, the Call Your Shot Gauntlet winner. Bully Ray goes one-on-one with Siki Dice, who is ticked off Bully Ray. Meanwhile, in knockouts action, Matt Cardona will keep an eye on this one. Chelsea Green, one-on-one with Mickey James as a part of the last rodeo. Remember, if Green beats James, James will retire. And in our main event, another championship match. The Knockouts World title is at stake. Jordan Grace defends against Giselle Shaw.
No quick cover here for the title.
And a kick out by Myers.
Myers stays in this one, gets a little bit of breathing room. And he's gonna need it from the inspirational, the 250 pounds of motivation, baby.
Myers and Cardona both asking for a timeout. Myers hates Las Vegas. Getting in the face of Joe Hendry there, and Hendry with a big uppercut there to Myers.
I mean, it is a cesspool. You can't blame him. And you also can't turn your eyes away from him, or else you can't catch a kick to the face.
Just enough of a distraction to help out Brian Myers. And not great history for Cardona and Myers, I guess you could say, in this city. Talking about the Digital Media Championship reign of Cardona. He lost his title here in Vegas to Rich Swann, and Cardona also tore his bicep here in Vegas. So Brian Myers has told me we can't wait to leave.
And hopefully leave still holding on to the Digital Media gold. And he's looking good right now, keeping firm control of Joe Hendry here.
Think about the rise of Joe Hendry, returning to Impact Wrestling, making his Bound for Glory debut in the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match, and has really shown a lot of excitement, caused a lot of excitement, frankly, here in Impact Wrestling since. Taken off his feet by Myers.
I mean, yeah, can you blame the Impact faithful here? How many people have you seen come in here brand new onto the scene and inspire so many little people waving their hands, singing the song?
Hold on, off the kick to the head to retain, and a kick out by Hendry.
Look, I know what it's like to have people to sing along with you, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people.
Like when you've gone to concerts?
You know what? You know my story, Mr. Statman over here. You know my career. You know how many people I've inspired, just like Joe Hendry has.
Every day is your day.
Absolutely.
And now Hendry, shot right to the ribs there, trying to battle back here. And a guillotine here by Myers.
Great move, putting all the weight, forcing Joe Hendry to use every bit of strength and endurance. And he is doing that indeed.
252-pounder finds the way out, and it's the suplex.
Great back and forth contest between two competitors here. I thought that was a great move by Myers to swing on.
Whoa. Now an elbow there, and Hendry is starting to roll against Myers.
He's starting to believe in himself, and we know that very, very well. There's the strength one more time.
Always believes in himself. Up on the shoulders. A trust fall to win the Digital Media Championship, and a kick down.
Just maybe Myers is starting to believe. He's feeling it full force here from Joe Hendry.
And now Joe Hendry, he's trying to set up for the standing ovation, trying to end this matchup.
Myers saw it coming. Beautiful flatliner.
There's a cover to hold on to his title. Hendry is still in it.
Credit to Myers doing his homework on the young wrestler here, the magnetic Joe Hendry.
Now Myers perhaps showing a little frustration, trying to find a way to end Joe Hendry's night. Think about that implant DDT. Hendry,
Oh my God!
Cover! Oh, what a kick out by Myers. Just raw power there from Hendry.
Now maybe just a little bit of shakiness in the belief of Joe Hendry. Myers showing a lot of heart here. Definitely wants to hold on to that championship with everything he's got.
Tossing outside by Myers. Title can only change hands via pinfall or submission inside the ring. Hendry gonna do some damage on the outside for the time being.
Lurking in the shadows, lurking in the background there, you see Matt Cardona, who's just checking on his friend, I truly like to believe.
Hold on a second.
Oh, hold up. Speaking of
tag team champions, Heath and Rhino are defending 1 week from tomorrow at Overdrive against the major players.
I know they got their issues, but they got no business out here.
Uh-oh. Oh, and look at Heath and Rhino.
They're just assaulting Cardona for no reason.
They're taking Cardona out of the equation. Cardona trying to get involved here at every turn to help out Myers.
Oh, what, because he believes in Joe Hendry and is sharing a conversation with him? Whatever.
Big kick by Myers. Takes advantage. Implant DDT to hold on to the championship. Kick out by Hendry.
I can't believe it. And now you might have to believe in Joe Hendry after kicking out of that huge DDT.
Going for the roster cut. The standing ovation.
He got him.
Cover. Do you believe in Joe Hendry? He's your digital media champion.
Here is your winner and new Impact Wrestling Digital Media Champion, Joe Hendry.
Well, results are results. And inspiration reigns supreme here at Las Vegas. Tommy, the mentions are going to be blowing up overnight.
Joe Hendry claims he's the answer to all life's problems. He will now look to spread his message and motivate the masses as your new digital media champion.
And now, here on TNA Xplosion, it's time for the Don West, you've got to be kidding me, top 5 trending topics of the week in honor of the late great TNA Hall of Famer, Don West. At number 5, last night on AXS TV in the US, Sportsnet 360 in Canada, and TNA Plus worldwide, we saw the first live in-arena edition of TNA Impact in 8 years. And following Genesis, our Director of Authority, Santina Morella, addressed the controversial comments of Josh Alexander at Genesis as the Walking Weapon claimed he quit TNA. Want to know what happened? Check it out now on demand on TNA Plus. At number 4, TNA Wrestling is so excited to be collaborating with Blacksmith, the brand for premium wrestling merchandise. Officially licensed TNA apparel is available for pre-order now. Visit blacksmith.co.uk/TNA to get your gear now. TNA and Blacksmith, forged by greatness. At number 3, we saw at TNA Genesis how the official partnership between WWE and TNA Wrestling began to play out in real time after Masha Slamovich successfully defended her TNA Knockouts World Championship against Rosemary in a chaotic Clockwork Orange House of Fun match. Slamovich was confronted by NXT's Cora Jade after Masha had appeared on NXT earlier on that week. Check out our social and digital platforms to find out what happened next. At number 2, speaking of the crossover opportunities between TNA Wrestling and NXT, last night live on TNA Impact, we saw the Rascals challenge Fraxium for the NXT Tag Team titles. If you missed this matchup, you've got to watch it back now on demand on TNA Plus. And at number 1, this entire edition of TNA Xplosion is dedicated to our brand new TNA World Champion, who this past weekend, live in Dallas, Texas on pay-per-view and TNA Plus, captured the TNA World Championship in a hell of a matchup against Nick Nemeth. Anything can happen when you believe. Up next, we will continue down the biggest moments in Joe Hendry's time in TNA wrestling, this time heading to Newcastle, England, as he faced off against What Culture's Simon Miller. Welcome back to Xplosion. Let's take you back to Newcastle, England, where we saw once co-creators now become opponents in the ring. It was all about pride at Turning Point 2023, where What Culture's Simon Miller went one-on-one with the global phenomenon, Joe Hendry.
Fighting out of Edinburgh, Joe Hendry!
And now listen, obviously taking a look at Simon Miller, yes, he does have an extensive background as a competitor in professional wrestling. Joe Hendry, however, has been regularly competing here in Impact and beyond, and is looking to put Simon Miller in his place because Joe Hendry was a part of the judging committee for Gut Check this year. He wanted Simon Miller to take a shot, see if he could earn a developmental contract with Impact Wrestling and achieve one of his dreams and become a champion perhaps in this company. Simon Miller, as you heard moments ago, thinks he's better than so many of the wrestlers that did compete in Gut Check and many of the wrestlers on our current roster. Oh, and now Miller attacking Hendry from behind, and the bell is not yet rung. This match is not underway.
Well, if Hendry knows Miller so well as he'd like to make fun of in that
Oh,
video.
you want to play fun and games? You want to play fun and games, do ya? I've got some games. It's time for the first ever live ups and downs. Oh yeah, here we go.
Look out!
Oh, and there's a down for you.
Look, I'll say it, never turn your back on your opponent. That got the better a little bit of Simon Miller there. But it's hard to argue with a lot of what he says, as Joe Hendry seemingly at a loss here for what's happened to Simon Miller. You just dropped him center of the ring.
Again, the bell is not yet rung. This match is not even officially underway. Well, now look at the kick pads here of Hendry. He's got Y. Here's Y on his kick pads. Oh, and Miller rolls out of the ring, and the official trying to get Miller standing and prepared back inside the ring so the match can continue. Ray Walters hasn't even started yet.
I mean, the match has not begun, but whatever this is has definitely started between these two. Oh! Hendry here outsmarting Simon Miller for the moment. And look at this.
And there's the bell. Now the match is underway. And Simon Miller, another down.
And look, ooh. Despite all the insulting games that Joe Hendry likes to play, we've seen this numerous times before with the likes of Kenny King, Matt Cardona, etc. I don't need to bring it all back into memory here. But Simon Miller, we're talking about over 300,000 subscribers on his personal YouTube, a What Culture personality around the world, actor, fitness guru. He's got a couple videos you should check out, Tom. A couple things you should do in the gym. I mean, this guy is an absolute legend.
Listen, I understand the success that he's had in social media, digital media, but the fact that he disrespected the wrestlers of Impact, the wrestlers trying to earn an opportunity with this company through Gut Check, you and I both know that is not the right way to go in this business.
No, look, I can't agree with everything he said, especially about our incredible roster in the back, but things like tryouts, Gut Check, that's for a young talent, unestablished, trying to reach their way, I get it, into the upper echelons. Simon Miller, in his own way, has made it all the way there, but meanwhile, God, the entire time we were talking about that, Joe Hendry had him up in a suplex.
Joe Hendry taking his time, 252 pounds of pure motivation. Here's the cover. Miller able to kick out.
And Miller has had a really hard time getting back on the right foot ever since she tried to take a cheap shot at Hendry at the start of this whole brouhaha here.
Oh, a knee right to the midsection there. Ooh, power slam there by Miller.
Miller, obviously, if you look at him, you can tell in incredible shape. I mentioned a fitness phenom, always in prime condition, but Hendry knows the man very, very well.
Missed with the elbow. Miller, who's gone on social media, digital media, and mocked the team formerly known as Joya. And now Miller almost said he hurt his elbow, but instead he drew in Hendry and went to the eyes, went around the official. The official didn't see it. Simon Miller stooping to get an advantage here against Joe Hendry. Oh, side slam. Cover. Oh, and Joe Hendry able to kick out against Simon Miller, attempting to feign an injury, just to draw on the official so he could go to the eyes, an illegal move, and try and get an advantage against Joe Hendry. Now Hendry trying to get back up to his feet, the longest reigning digital media champion of all time in this company's history, trying to show what he's all about. Uppercuts here to Miller. Oh, and a huge clothesline by Miller after a brief flurry there by Joe Hendry. Body scissors applied, going for a sleeper perhaps. Now Miller has tied up Joe Hendry here and trying to get Joe Hendry to submit, but the fans here in Newcastle behind Joe Hendry.
Hendry now, look at this. Fighting all the way, keeping the very large and powerful Simon Miller carrying him literally on his back here. Whoa, look at this, just repositioning Miller.
Oh, look at the strength of Hendry.
Again, much like Danny Luna in the last match, just heaving Simon Miller off the floor and holding him there, just moving him around like a sack of potatoes. The strength of Joe Hendry.
Now the following slam by Hendry. And a kip up. Hendry is feeling it inside the Walker Dome.
This crowd here in Newcastle clearly believing in Joe Hendry.
Oh, and now Miller using the top rope there to create a little bit of separation by any means necessary. And a spear.
Tried to cut Joe Hendry in half there. And now Simon Miller finds himself in control again. Can he take advantage though?
Caught with a cutter. A cutter there by Hendry.
Out of midair there, Tom. Impressive from the former digital media champion, Joe Hendry.
And now those kick pads with Y. Here's Y all over them.
Adding insult to injury. You can hear the chants in the Walker Dome.
Down goes Miller.
And look out, take it off here. Ooh.
On a shoulder tackle there by Miller. Goes for another one, and Hendry's down.
Here's the power of Simon Miller coming through.
We're seeing the 5 moves of doom from Simon Miller.
Oh my goodness. Really letting the fans in Newcastle here have it. I love to see it. Wait.
Hendry's back up on his feet.
Oh!
The standing ovation. You want to know why Hendry's the better man? Here's why.
Here is your winner, Joe Hendry!
Up next, in our Xplosion main event, we're taking you back to the Glasgow Cup Finals in 2023 with Joe Hendry going one-on-one with Frankie Kazarian. Welcome back to TNA Xplosion. As we close out our look back at Joe Hendry's monumental moments in his career in TNA wrestling, we head back to Glasgow, Scotland for the finals of the 2023 Glasgow Cup with Frankie Kazarian battling Scotland's own Joe Hendry.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Cause they love him in London and Paris and Tokyo, America, Scotland and Canada and Mexico.
Making his way to the ring,
Believe in Joe
weighing in
Hendry.
tonight at 248 pounds,
Joe Hendry.
from Edinburgh, Scotland, this is Joe Hendry!
We are set for the finals of the Glasgow Cup tournament here inside the O2 Academy in Glasgow, Scotland, where Joe Hendry makes his home just outside of Glasgow, but hails from Edinburgh, Scotland, so plenty of home turf advantage for the most inspirational and motivational man in wrestling.
It's gotta feel good for Joe Hendry to come here to his home country, bring the inspiration that he's brought to so many across North America back to the homeland, back to the heart.
Folks, I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. I just want the world to know how much of a privilege it is to bring Impact Wrestling right here to Scotland once again. The future is looking very bright indeed for this company, but it's also looking bright for Joe Hendry, because that right there, if I can beat the legend that is Frankie Kazarian and win that, then I prove that I belong on this stage. And what they believe in is 252 pounds of pure motivation. The answer to all life's problems. They believe in Joe Hendry.
A strong homecoming for the Scotsman, but like he said, a very tall task ahead of him in his opponent here tonight.
And his opponent, hailing from Yucca Valley, California, he is the heavy metal rebel, Frankie Kazarian!
The five-time X Division champion Frankie Kazarian, who in the first round of action took out the UK phenom, the 19-year-old Leon Slater, who will be in action tomorrow night as the countdown to Turning Point. That'll be at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, free on Impact Plus, YouTube, and Fight TV. Meanwhile, Joe Hendry, he dispatched Rich Swann in the first round of this tournament to make it here to the finals. Kazarian and Hendry about to go one-on-one. Who is going to walk out of the O2 Academy with the Glasgow Cup?
And you see right there, the heavy metal rebel there, he's already ready to take a sip right out of the cup itself. But for Hendry, I mean, you got to imagine there is a lot riding on this in just terms of pride. We are here on your home soil. You are ready to hear, bringing Impact Wrestling. You heard the chants at TNA. It's on our horizon. There's a lot of pride on the line in many ways here for Joe Hendry.
This is a huge week altogether for Impact Wrestling. Be a part of the final live event under the Impact Wrestling banner on Saturday, December 9th. It's Final Resolution live in Toronto on Impact Plus, Fight TV, YouTube for our Ultimate Insiders. Tickets go on sale Friday, November 3rd at 9 a.m. Eastern via ImpactWrestling.com. And as you mentioned, Raywall, in 2024, TNA is back. Nice sign of sportsmanship there. That's what this company is all about. On Saturday, January 13th, Hard to Kill will mark the return of TNA Wrestling. We'll be live on pay-per-view, Fight TV, and YouTube at the Palms in Las Vegas for Hard to Kill on the 13th. And join us on Sunday, January 14th for the TNA Snake Eyes Extravaganza. Tickets go on sale Saturday, November 4th at 10 a.m. Pacific time via ImpactWrestling.com.
Gonna be a hell of a kickoff to 2024 for Impact, soon to be TNA, but let's not forget all the tear we've been making through the UK, especially here. I'm just so excited we're back here in Scotland. Cover there. Oh, that would have been an early Glasgow Cup there for Joe Hendry.
And I mentioned tomorrow night is Turning Point, which will be available starting at 8 p.m. Eastern on Impact Plus, Fight TV, and YouTube for our Ultimate Insiders. Kazarian and Hendry break here tomorrow night at Turning Point. Hendry tangles with Simon Miller of What Culture and YouTube fame, two longtime friends. That has gone south. Those two battle tomorrow night. Meanwhile, Kazarian is going to team up with the reigning X Division champion Chris Sabin to take on the most professional wrestling gods, Moose and Brian Myers, who we will see in action later on tonight.
You have to wonder, you know, we ask questions like this all the time, that footage of Hendry and Simon Miller trying to film an episode of his show Food Fight really turned into a literal fight in and of itself. You have to wonder if a lot of that is on the mind of Joe Hendry ahead of Turning Point tomorrow night, but he's got to keep it in the here and now against an opponent the caliber of Frankie Kazarian.
Kazarian gets to the bottom rope there, breaks things up, takes a moment to regroup. Can you imagine being in the shoes of Frankie Kazarian, Eric Young, Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, Josh Alexander, Jordan Grace? The list goes on and on. Those wrestlers that were in the ring, Raywall, to close out Bound for Glory when the news was broken that TNA is coming back.
I mean, you heard it. If you were in that building in Chicago, you felt it. We felt it at the table. I mean, the numerous videos that have sprouted all over social media and the internet as of late have shown you the different sides, the different reactions. The energy was electric. And you know what? That's similar here. Again, I keep bringing it back to the energy that has been brought to the Impact Wrestling, TNA Wrestling locker room here on this entire tour through the UK. There is no electricity like a live TNA Impact Wrestling crowd.
It's been such a fun year for Impact Wrestling to get out beyond North America in the wake of the pandemic, the trip down under to Australia, now the UK Invasion Tour. Impact will be in Mexico in November. Frankie Kazarian, he loves these opportunities for international tours, and for Impact Wrestling, it's our first time in nearly 8 years performing major events in the United Kingdom.
And, you know, Tom, I don't mean to take away from all the exciting things that are happening all around our Impact Wrestling universe as a whole, but this match has been very 50-50 ground, very scientific, a lot of holds back and forth. Hasn't really exploded yet. Both these guys really kind of taking it back to one-on-one level, which I really appreciate as now the beat across the chest from the Joe Hendry song and the Joe Hendry faithful here in Scotland.
It went from that technical acumen, as you mentioned, and now some raw power from Joe Hendry. 252 pounds has got Frankie Kazarian up in the stalling suplex. Kazarian, no small man, dumped to the canvas. Here's the cover to win the Glasgow Cup and a kick out. Now, Hendry has his plate full. As I mentioned, Simon Miller on his horizon tomorrow night at Turning Point. Then on Thursday, November 9th, he will compete on Impact Wrestling on AXS TV against Brian Myers.
Cover here.
Trying to win this tournament, and a kick out there by Kazarian.
Here we are in Glasgow, the Glasgow Cup on the line. God, I keep coming back, Joe Hendry. This has got to feel like a must-win situation here. The power advantage in the corner of Hendry thus far. He seemed to succeed the most when he's gone to that game. Kazarian, of course, has that experience, has a little bit more of the speed, perhaps. What is going to win out here? There you go!
And Hendry goes down hard. It's Kazarian and Hendry in the finals. Who will win the Glasgow Cup? We are back here inside the O2 Academy in Glasgow. This is the finals of the tournament for the Glasgow Cup. Joe Hendry one-on-one with Frankie Kazarian. Kazarian took over before the commercial break. Raywald, a nasty fall for Joe Hendry outside the ring as Kaz brings things back inside the ropes.
You know, it was right before break. I was talking about what is going to win out. The experience of Frankie Kazarian, that power that Joe Hendry likes to tout so much. And there, you saw it. Kazarian saw a moment to strike, managed to knock Hendry to the outside, and now has taken over this matchup.
Power slam off the rope. Oh, and a leg drop right to the chest. Is it enough to win the Glasgow Cup? And a kick out.
Kazarian, I just want to tell you, immediately right into that hold there, smart move.
Both these men have already competed once earlier on this evening. As we mentioned before the break, Frankie Kazarian took out the Phenom Leon Slater, as so much promise. Meanwhile, Joe Hendry defeated Rich Swann, a former Impact World Champion, in order to advance here in this tournament.
And that's something to consider too when you wrestle in these tournaments like that. It's always a question of how much do you put in versus how much do you conserve for a later matchup. These guys both, hopefully, they've made the right choices. And now, but here is where it all gets out. Everything you've got left in the tank needs to come to the surface.
Now Hendry trying to reverse things since Kazarian opposite side caught there with a back elbow. Oh, Hendry rushes into the turnbuckles. Both men along the ropes in the guillotine leg drop there out on the apron. Kaz is feeling it.
And whoa!
Inside to win the tournament, and Hendry able to kick out. Big clothesline by Kaz.
Frankie Kazarian busting out every trick in his playbook there. That beautiful dive over the ropes into the Oklahoma roll, but still not quite enough to put home the native son, Joe Hendry.
And a reminder, IPWF is back on Saturday, November 11th in Toronto. Don't miss Throwback Throwdown 4, which will be seen in the future on AXS TV. Tickets are on sale now at ImpactWrestling.com.
Looking for that chicken wing.
Think about the chicken wing up on the back here of Joe Hendry. Realizes the power of Hendry. Can't seem to lock it in, Raywald.
Hendry, he's blocking across the throat there. That's key, because that's where it all gets cinched in. Look at this, the power, the inspiration of Joe Hendry boiling over.
Suplex by Hendry, and down goes Kazarian. And again, Kazarian had to put all of his body mass onto the back of Hendry to even attempt to lock in the chicken wing. You gotta wonder what it's gonna take, and if Kazarian even goes back to that for the chicken wing.
That's right, he's gonna have to wear down someone like Hendry a lot more, but Hendry right now is a head full of steam. Train engine full speed ahead here.
Ducks underneath, and Kazarian went for a crossbody. And a fall-away slam by Hendry.
And now Hendry is cooking. He is believing his fellow countrymen getting behind him here.
Oh, now Joe Hendry.
Whoa.
Looking for the standing ovation. And now back to the corner, chicken wing time. And again, Kazarian was trying to use the environment of the ring to lock it in. That didn't work. Turn it into a neck breaker. Is this enough? Trying to win the Glasgow Cup, and a kick out by Hendry.
I mean, that is twice now that Hendry has had the chicken wing scouted, has had an answer for it, has had a counter for it. If you're Frankie Kazarian, all that veteran experience has got to have you questioning, if I can't get this locked in, what do I go to next? Oh, wait, look out.
Oh, wait a minute. Up onto the shoulders. Now Hendry holding on to the rope, able to create a little bit of separation up onto the shoulders once again.
And
Crust fall!
That rattles Kazarian in the cutter.
Got him with a cutter. Could that do it? Kazarian gets the left shoulder up in time.
He did, Tom, but I gotta call him a little bit. There was not a whole lot of life left behind that kick out, at least not initially. Hendry is really wearing down, as he put it, the legendary Frankie Kazarian.
Hendry has his homeland behind him this evening in Glasgow, trying to win the Glasgow Cup. Hold on. Fade to black. Fade to black.
Huge.
Oh, and Kazarian can't end the matchup.
And the look on the face of Kaz says it all. He can't quite believe it as the countrymen of Joe Hendry rally around him.
Kazarian, you can sense getting frustrated. He's gone for that chicken wing twice. He went for fade to black, which has paid off a lot recently in Impact for him. Oh, and especially over the years, an uppercut there by Hendry.
Hendry bringing it to the high rent district here, all the way down.
Superplex by Hendry.
Took a lot out of Joe Hendry as well, though. Can he capitalize?
Great respect shown by the fans here in Scotland tonight. Kazarian and Hendry in this one-night-only four-man tournament. The finals right now for the Glasgow Cup.
And after both guys have dropped a couple of their big heavy hitters into the bowl here, now breaking down into just a slugfest between these two at the end of this tournament.
Well, now Kazarian tracked down there by Hendry. Kazarian responds with a forearm shiver.
Back and forth here. Wait, look out!
Backslide. Kazarian nearly had it.
Another roll-up.
Hold on, trying to get the shoulders of Hendry down. A kick out there. Both men back up to their feet. Now Hendry, shoulders down on Kazarian and a kick out.
Both guys trying to get a quick victory here. Can they wrap it up here?
Shoulders down again. Kaz can't get the win just yet. And now
look
at Hendry. Hook to the leg here. Hendry's beaten Kazarian. Hendry wins the Glasgow Cup.
He appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. 'Cause the love of London.
Here is your winner,
Hendry's fellow Scotsman Simon Cassidy of ICW doing the honors tonight as our ring announcer. What a moment for Joe Hendry in front of his countrymen and women.